This is for the people who are serious about making a move. It's not an option. You know that it's time for you to pack up and go. You've already wrapped your mind around the fact that you may not get a 2% interest rate, and you realize that homes today cost more than they did 3 to 5 years ago. You've already accepted those facts, but it is still time for you to make a move. You've had some serious life changes, maybe one of these 5 events. There could be a death or a divorce. Either one, the space no longer fits, or the space provides so much emotional turmoil for you that it is draining on your mental health. Or maybe you've got some good news. You've just learned that you've gotten a promotion, your career's booming, and you are relocating. You are coming. You're not saying no. You've spent too many hours, too many years cultivating relationships, politicking, and now this is your moment to shine. You're coming and you're relocating. Or maybe it's your turn. It is just your time. You are in a position now where it's your turn to take care of an aging parent. Or maybe you've just simply decided it's time to stop the financial bleeding of leasing. Now wait, before you decide to keep scrolling or X out of this video, maybe this is not pertaining to you at this particular moment in time. You may know someone who has to make a move. In this video, if you hang with me, you'll be able to share some tips with this friend, with the people you know, provide you some hope, and to help you stare down the giant, the Mount Everest of affordability. Are you ready? With the DFW Life, and I help people relocate to Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex on a fairly regular basis. And I'm not here to convince you to buy a home or sell your home. My goal is to help shed some light on so much misinformation on real estate today with 4 options that help you with your next move. Oh, and you want to stick with me to the end because I'm going to share with you some trends that we're seeing today and some predictions about real estate in 2024. Well, let's begin number 1 with our affordability hack, ADU, accessory dwelling unit. I'm going to share a little story with you. I have a client and he's considered the Gen Z, the younger generation where we felt like, are they even paying attention? Are they able to put their cell phones down? Is their primary language texting, emoji? They get their news, from X or from whatever social media site. But guess what? They're listening and they're ready to make serious impact in the real estate market, and they found affordability hacks. Accessory dwelling units. Okay, think about it. This is when you have a separate unit, a separate dwelling on the primary lot. So as we were looking for homes for this Gen Z, he decided, you know what? If I can find a home that I like, can grow into loving, and I can make and create income by having a separate dwelling, then I've hit the jackpot. And maybe he has. So if you're looking for accessory dwelling unit as an option during your move, this is what you need to be aware of and what you should look for. ADUs have gained popularity as an efficient use of space and a potential source of income. So your question is it going to be attached or detached? Is it going to be a separate structure in the backyard, or am I converting part of the home in order to make it an ADU? These are some basic things that you probably should consider when creating your ADU, especially if you want it to be an income-driven property. Is there even a sidewalk for the person to use? Is there parking for the person? Otherwise, they're going to be intruding in your personal space. Now, each city is different. So you do want to check the regulations and the HOA in those particular areas. And chances are there's probably not an HOA where you're looking, because remember, this is almost like a needle in the haystack to find these ADUs. Even though they're gaining popularity, they're just not readily available. It's going to take some digging and some looking, but they're out there. So think to yourself, I want to maximize my privacy. and maximize my potential income. So this is a way to do it. So if you have gotten your permits from the city and you follow the rules and regulations of the city, I'm going to be honest, get a separate meter if you can, because that way there's no commingling, there's no question about utilities. You can truly run this as a legitimate income producing properties, because it can be really confusing if you don't have separate meters. But again, get the permits, because the other things you don't want to do is get a piece of land and try to build on the land and you get stalled out because you don't have the permits, or you bought a home and it already seems like it will work, but the proper permits have not been approved. If you happen to find an older home that has a separate dwelling, you could probably get away with it easier than a newer home, because homes and rules and city regulations, they kind of get grandfathered in, but each city is different. So do not come to me and say, Tracy, you said. I am telling you to please do your own research or give me a call and we can work through this together. Either way, keep in mind, keep your goal in mind. This is your focus. You're finding the space with the intent of producing income to offset the expense of owning a home. So this is helping you with your affordability. So my client, the Gen Z, who did find an ADU unit, it was an older home, no deed restrictions, so he made out like a bandit with that, except when he wanted to really update things the way he thought a person like him would want to enjoy. He did run across a few issues with permits, so that's why it's so important to do that. But he was able to fix it up, and now he has someone in that space who is offsetting his mortgage. So how about that for a great affordability hack? Number 2, affordability hack, blended funds, a blended family. So, whatever the situation may be, whether it's you're blending because whether grandma, grandpa want to live closer to the grandchildren, closer to you, medical reasons, just that support and connection. Or if you have that boomerang going on where your adult children are coming back, blending these funds, that blended family, may be a hack number 2 that many people find helpful to deal with affordability. Hey, take a look at an example of one of our multi-generational families here in Keller, Texas. And then take a look at your great space. We're talking about, all of the dining, the entertainment. This home is just perfect. This is a beautiful kitchen for someone who finds themselves sacrificing the life they lived before in their home and their independence. Listen, I don't know if they can ask for better space. These beautiful countertops and a long island. They have a kitchen in your home. Whether or not you need to unplug an appliance, we don't know. But this is a really beautiful space for them. Look at this gas burner with a little grill on top. Nice oven, great appliances, refrigerator, microwave, and take a look at all of this storage. I almost wish I could move in. And then this is a kitchen, obviously, because you know what a kitchen looks like. But I just want you to really take in all of the additional rooms and spaces here. Imagine that they've decided they're going to invite a few friends over, right? Well, they have the kitchen to entertain. They can also bring their food here, take a look out the window, and they have, this is important, this is where their washer and dryer unit would be. So, when I talk about privacy, you can't ask for more privacy than this. They don't even have to use your laundry room. They have their own space. And then behind them is additional storage they can use to store pantry, brooms, mops, however they choose. It's beautiful. All of the natural light. Look at the closet. They have such a gorgeous, spacious walk-in closet. And their private bath. So maybe this will be the perfect option for you. Number 3, affordability hack. Get roommates. You have the mortgage, it's your home, you're gaining the equity and wealth through real estate, but your roommates are helping offset that expense of your mortgage by paying you rent. Now that might not be a new concept, but what we're seeing going up maybe just a notch or two are people who are purposely looking for a duplex, not as an investment, not an investor. They are living in one half of the duplex with the intent of having the other one rented out to offset their mortgage. So when I say that, I mean they're not just, hey, I need to buy a portfolio of rental properties. This is their primary home, but they found a way to make it work. Next, okay, this one isn't new, but this is a reminder. Buy farther out, farther away from the main city, and sometimes farther out than just the popular suburbs, because the farther out it is, the less popular it is, the less conveniences there are living there. But guess what? If you're in a major Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, they're coming. Growth is coming. And before you know it, in a matter of years, what you thought was remote and out and by itself, the whole city has just engulfed it, and you feel like you're part of the Metroplex. But for now, it may be a hack for you to move farther out. Even if you feel like it's a commute to do some of the basic things that you enjoy, trust me, the conveniences will come, and you would have made out like a bandit by buying lower and allowing that value to rise. And the beast that we're seeing today is new construction. So that will be your next affordability hack. Purchase new construction. These builders, whether they overbuilt because they felt like they needed to for the supply and demand to answer that call, whatever the case, they are throwing everything at you, including the kitchen sink. You know, we used to do this buy down. We could do a 2-1 or different buy downs. They've gone well past that. They're not just doing buy downs. What they're doing to go up a notch is offering lower fixed rates. Now, interest rates have come down, in the last few weeks. We're looking at less than 7%. We're celebrating, woohoo. But there are some builders who are offering fixed rates of 4%. Now, that is something to jump on, and that's going to help you with your affordability. Now, for the moment you've been waiting for, hopefully you've enjoyed the entire video, but this is the part where we talk about what's going on, the trends that we're seeing in our housing market in Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and what the economists are predicting will happen in 2024. Well, let's begin with the here and the now. We are dealing with supply and demand just like most other places throughout the country. We have more buyers and fewer homes. Why? Because the sellers are a little skittish. They're thinking to themselves, if I sell my home, if I move, I'm paying more for my home. And now they're coming to realize that yes, you're going to pay more for your home today than you would 20, 10, 5 years ago. And yes, you may be giving up that sweet interest rate that you have gotten because you purchased your home when the interest rates were really low, like 2%, some people 1%. It's just crazy how low those interest rates are compared to what you're getting today. But now they're starting to realize, the sellers and homeowners realize that I have gained so much equity in my home that I can afford to offset the prices of the home and work with the interest rates, because I'm not going to be borrowing that much because I have a truckload of money to apply toward my next move. So they're starting to list their homes, and that's good news for you to offset that supply and demand. Now, here's another hot topic about what's trending in real estate. We're talking about some apocalyptic crash that some people are hoping for, and recession, inflation. We can't control those things. But what we are seeing as a trend is that rather than the appreciation of homes being at a minimum of 6% like they've been year over year, and frankly, the last couple of years, we're seeing 12%, 18% appreciation for these homes year after year. What we're starting to see is a slowdown of that level and that pace of appreciation. This graph you can see is December to December, and what it's illustrating is that yes, we still have appreciation, but not at that speed of light that we've been seeing in the past. So the first column is 2023. So we see a 3.32 appreciation over 2022. And what they are predicting in 2024 is that we'll see a little depreciation of 2.17. But notice there is no crash, meaning below the baseline. Everything is above zero. And by 2027, that appreciation year over year will be at 4.18. In 2024, what we see is the appreciation is a little over 4%. So depreciation is not the same as you're losing appreciation. It's just at a different pace. We're still going up. Now, interest rate, which feels like the golden goose. The lower you can get it, the better it is. But here's the good news. We've already experienced the last few weeks here in 2023 a decrease in interest rates. If you've been keeping up with things, you know the interest rates soared as high as 8%. Now we're seeing it come down to the 6%, in the 6%-ish. And it depends on your credit score and a number of variables. I'm not a lender, and this video is not about lending, but we are seeing a decrease, and it is predicted to continue to see about 5 more decreases in interest rates by the end of 2024. So we're going in the right direction. So even if you decide to purchase now and you get a higher interest rate and you see them falling, well, guess what? You can refinance. And if you see a decrease in interest rate, you purchase now and you see it going down, well, remember the expression, marry the house, date the rate. You can always refinance. But the one thing you can't change once you buy the home is the price. Well, hopefully this is giving you some insight on some creative, affordable ways to make your move. And maybe some of these points and these tips were just confirmation of the things that you need to consider when you get here. So whether you're thinking about moving to Dallas-Fort Worth in the next 9 days or 9 weeks, reach out to me, comment below, give me a call. Let's schedule a one-on-one to see which is the best, most affordable way for you to create your memories and call home.